What is up, everybody? It's your girl Nia, the video game her, and I'm getting over a cold, so there might be some grossness in this video, and my apartment looks like trash because I'm back working again. So just in case y'all didn't know, and I look a hot mess because, again, I'm sick. I didn't go to work today. But anyway, that's irrelevant, okay? Because I got some real stuff to talk about today. I mean, like, my dude. Okay, so first of all, let me preface this with these situations that I'm talking about today. I don't mean any disrespect. It's nothing personal. I just personally felt the need to speak on them because even though these are just a couple of situations, I've been reading all across the Nintendo community of people who feel the same way. I personally think it's hilarious. That's just me. But I do want to address it. And I will just begin by saying this. The Wii U is dead. Okay? It's been dead since about the end of 2014, beginning of 2015. The Nintendo Switch is the future, and that's all there is to it. The Wii U is done. The Switch is the future. And it's just so funny because we've had an entire generation of split Nintendo fans. The Nintendo fan base, like the Wii U has completely just rocked the Nintendo community on YouTube. There's some people who were just diehard and stuck by the Wii U regardless. There was some people like me who were bold enough to speak out against Nintendo, speak out about our concerns and our negatives about the Wii U. And it's been a really rocky time. And now that the Nintendo Switch is announced, everybody's happy, obviously, because we're happy that the console was finally announced. But then there are some people who just can't let go of the Wii U, and they can't let go of the fact that the Wii U was a colossal failure. And I'm just here to tell you guys that it's okay to move on. And don't get me wrong, I loved the time that I had with my Wii U when it was in its heyday. Back in like 2013, 2014, when there was just Nintendo games out the wazoo, Pikmin, Mario Kart, Smash, Bayonetta, even when Xenoblade Chronicles came out, I was having a really good time with my Wii U despite all of the shortcomings of the console. But now I'm just like, I have to move on. And Nintendo realizes this too. And I know it's taken me a while to get to the point, but there's been a lot of people who are disappointed because the Nintendo Switch is not gonna have dual screen functionality. I posted my fact versus theory video on sheattack.com today, and I also wrote an article about it. And I had someone who sent me a message, and this is a person who is one of my subscribers, and I respect this guy a great deal. So when I'm reading this, I don't really mean it to be any disrespect at all, because he's a supporter of my channel and he always has some really good things to contribute to the conversation. And this is what he said to me. He said, right now it is looking like any progress made with the second screen functions on Wii U is being dropped for full switched portability. That is not giving the player choices. I also can't respect Nintendo removing second screen functions from even the Wii U version of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. When we bought this console, they made us believe in this way of playing, and they had already set a precedent with 2 Zelda remakes on Wii U. Splatoon without my Wii U gamepad or a controller for the Switch that provides the same features for that game that I'm already experiencing is not happening for me. And there are still way too many unanswered questions for me to be excited. And that's pretty much the extent of that comment that I wanted to read. And I see where he's coming from. You know, Nintendo spent an entire generation trying to convince us that the Wii U was worthy and that the second screen added something really unique to gameplay. I mean, they said this, they made a console built around this concept, but at the end of the day, nobody cared. And there were so many games outside of the games that did it well that proved that You don't really need second screen gaming on a console. So for them to hold on to the Wii U that has a really bad connotation, a really bad taste in people's mouths, I'm glad they're moving on. Nobody wants another Wii U. There's a subsect of people out there that do care about dual screen gaming. I don't really care about dual screen gaming, even though there were some games out there that did utilize it well. Like Wind Waker HD was a really good example. You could have your map and your inventory on screen. And some games like Mario Maker, where it was absolutely essential. As far as Splatoon is concerned, I think Splatoon is a little questionable. I think that there could be other ways to use your map for Splatoon without having a second screen. There's nothing that stops Splatoon from having a map overlay that allows you to use your D-pad to spawn, or even your L stick to pick a direction to go to spawn. Like, I don't really see how you absolutely need a second screen to play Splatoon. All of this is really based on opinion, but I think that people just don't want to let go, and that's kind of worrying, because it's like the Switch looks to be a concept that could really catch on, and it really kind of makes me feel a certain kind of way when I see people not wanting to look at the positives and what Nintendo is trying to do by moving forward and coming up with a fresh idea that could actually be beneficial to people and be beneficial to the way that we look at playing games. There was also another comment that I received, but he said, you do realize that the Switch could easily use the Wii U gamepad by default or a firmware update. Now, this one made me laugh, because here's one thing that people forget about the Wii U. The Wii U gamepad ain't jack without the console. This gamepad does not have processing power. This gamepad is a shell. All it does is get a signal from the console, and that's it, guys. There's no way that the Wii U gamepad will work on the Switch unless there are Wii U components inside of the Switch. And from what we know or can speculate on, there are no Wii U components in the Switch because it's not compatible with Wii U games. First of all, they're using a completely different architecture. Instead of PowerPC, they're using ARM this time, okay? Secondly, they're not using discs anymore. They're using game cartridges. This Nintendo Switch has no Wii U components in it whatsoever. So if you were looking to a Wii U-like experience, you're not getting it. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe there's some way down the line where they could engineer something like that down the road, but off the bat and based on what Nintendo's been telling us, y'all just gotta move on, bro. Sometimes companies make stuff that don't work, and that's just the reality of the Wii U. It was a failure. Nobody wanted it. Nintendo didn't know how to market it. Nintendo didn't even know how to properly utilize it. It is what it is, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's just a short ramble. Like, this video has no structure whatsoever, and I apologize for that, but I had to get that off my chest. Anyway, I'm gonna go and settle down because being sick makes you tired and fatigued. So I'm gonna chill. Y'all be easy. Peace.